Today I'd like to talk to you about the benefits of making use of a bond originator in the whole process of buying or selling a property. As an agent, I work very closely with a company called Uber, who are a bond originator company. We have a consultant who assists me with all transactions when working with buyers and sellers. So what happens in my situation is when I have a buyer that approaches me to look for a property, but the first thing I do before even showing them a property is I try to make sure that they have already been pre-qualified, or I encourage them to become pre-qualified before we get to the stage of looking for a house. What this means is I put them in touch with my bond originator. They fill in an application form, which she then takes to all the different banking institutions in South Africa. And what the banks then do is they do a credit check to make sure that there are no judgments against the client. They make sure that they are stably employed, so that they've got a set income coming in. They also look at their affordability based on what their income is. And then they present the client with what is called a pre-qualification, which tells them that they have had all their credit ratings checked, and it gives them an amount that they are qualified to buy for. It also gives them an idea of whether or not they will need to pay a deposit and what their transfer duties are going to be and their bond registration costs. So the buyer knows straight away what they are qualified to buy for and what the process is going to cost them. This helps me when I'm working with a seller because A, I'm not going to take these buyers to properties that I know they are not qualified to buy, and B, it also means that when I present an offer to my seller from one of these pre-qualified buyers, that my buyer has already done the preliminary checks and that they are indeed qualified to buy that property. This cuts out a lot of time for all the parties concerned because it means I'm not going to take buyers to properties that they can't afford and thereby get my seller's hopes up. When I present the offer, I'm also confident and I can tell my seller that this buyer has been pre-qualified and that the chances of them getting this bond are indeed very strong. It also makes my buyer's offer that much stronger because they have already been pre-qualified. So I would recommend to any buyer and seller that they make sure that the first thing they do before getting into a transaction of buying or selling a property is making sure that they're working with pre-qualified buyers.